Alright, I'm about 2 miles into the trail, the high country pathway, and I think I already see elk tracks. They're a little bit too big to be deer. That'd be a pretty big deer. Let's keep going. I'm about 2 miles north of Clear Lake. And right now the trail is paralleling 33, so you can hear a lot of road noise still. But we're still early into the hike here, so still chance for some solitude, hopefully. I hear the northern side's a little bit more wild than the southern side, so we'll see. Here we are on the high country pathway, still about 2 miles in, north of Clear Lake. We're already crossing our third two-tracker. It's actually a view up there of some sort, rare for Michigan. So far, pretty much just woods and a little bit of a road walk from Clear Lake. But a lot of tracks, a lot of deer tracks. I saw 2 deer in the parking lot when I parked my car. It was the only one there. And I believe elk tracks. My previous trip here only did about 5 miles on the other side of the trail, but we did see quite a bit of wildlife then. And I've got high hopes for this trip too. I'd really like to see an elk, so we'll see. In fact, here's some deer tracks down here. It's May 13th, 2013, day 1 of my hike on the high country pathway in the Pigeon River Country State Forest. The weather was actually pretty nasty here the last couple days. I think it was 33 degrees. They said it snowed. It said 2.8 inches, and then they revised it to like 1 point something. But wind chill was like 20 degrees, 19 degrees this morning here. But fortunately, the warm front's moving in. But I don't know what happened to all this snow. I pretty much expected it to have an inch or 2 of snow on the ground when I got here, but I'm kind of relieved that there isn't. Looks like we're coming up to a bit of a clearing here. Maybe an old logging area. Here's a better view of this logging area on a little hilltop here. Alright, I'm 4 1/4 miles in now from north of Clear Lake. It's starting to get a little wet, a little bit marshy. That's what I was worried about with the bad weather we had over the weekend. A little bit of rain and snow, but nothing too bad yet. Alright, time to walk the plank. These ones look a little sketchy. Oh yeah, they're a little soft, slippery, bouncing. Well, the HCP is on a little 2-tracker road here. Not exactly difficult hiking or visually aesthetically appealing, but it is fast. Well, as I made my turn off the last 2-tracker onto this 2-track road, I guess I missed the trail. I assumed that this 2-tracker was the continuation of the HCP. I didn't see any blue blazes, so I just assumed this road was it. Apparently it isn't. The trail is actually over this way, maybe a 1/10 or 2/10 of a mile, so time to go bushwhacking and find it. Well, I'm back on the HCP. Well, I'm back on the trail after having lost it for a minute. And now I'm in another logging area. In fact, there's a guy over there right now, a machine. I can't see if there's a person, but there's definitely a vehicle over there and a pile of logs. Alright, check out these tracks. That's different, that's new. I don't think I've ever been somewhere where I've seen so many animal tracks. Another road walk. I'm getting pretty close to Tomahawk Lake. And I've been road walking, I think, for 1.5 miles. So feels like so far I've done maybe, well, I think I've done about 8.5 miles, and probably 30% maybe have been road walk so far. Here we are at the Tomahawk Creek floodwaters. The trail is running right next to the lake right now. Okay, I'm just south of Tomahawk Lake campground. Just stopped and ate lunch. It's about 12:30. Covered some great ground this morning. I did 12.3 miles before lunch, about 4 hours. So it's pretty good. Here's another clearing just south of the Tomahawk Creek campground. I'm in between Tomahawk Creek flooding and Shoepec Lake. I just got through a big clearing back there, and glad it's not summertime. This would be pretty thick and overgrown. Check out these trees. They look like they've been just blown sideways and they never stood right up again. I'm near Shoepec Lake, just north of the Shoepec Lake campground. And man, is it getting wet and marshy and boggy here. I'm near Canada Creek on the east side. Well, here's the bridge at Canada Creek. At M33 there was a sign saying bridge unsafe, do not cross, just like this one. But I cross rivers without bridges, so I went down here to check it out anyway. I might give this a shot. If not, I'll just cross anyway somewhere else. But it really doesn't look too bad.
About time to get my fire started. What a long day it was today, 20.3 miles. The right knee's starting to hurt pretty bad, to be honest. I kind of think the same thing's happening that happened in Linville Gorge when I hurt my knee there.
Morning, day 2. I'm in between Canada Creek and Black River. I'm on one of these boardwalks here. There's tons of these. It's pretty swampy up here in this area. These things are really slick too. I just saw a deer about a half a mile back and a partridge. Alright, well, I'm at the end of my almost at the end of my second day here. I'm just north of the Pine Grove campground. I had planned on camping alongside Pigeon River, maybe along about a mile north of the campground, because you can't camp within a mile of the State Forest campground. So I decided to leave the trail and come down, check out the river, and see if it was possible to camp down there, get water, but I couldn't even find the river. I got maybe within a tenth of a mile, and it was really wet, and just the vegetation was too thick. It took me 30 minutes of bushwhacking just to get down here, and you can kind of see what I'm going through. There's really no trail. I followed faint game trails just to get down here. Well, what a nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Maybe camp at the Pine Grove campground. Didn't really have a choice but to go here to the Pine Grove campground. They are the only place that has water, and man, there was nowhere to camp back there. That's pretty crazy. So today's total mileage was 22 and a half, I think. Oh, my feet are hurting pretty bad. I don't know what this last couple times I've been hiking, I've been getting a little bit of a red rash around where my socks are. I don't know what's going on with that, but you know, my feet are really hurting, and surprisingly I don't have any blisters. I have one forming on the tip of that toe there.
Alright, look at this roller coaster ride here. Holy crap.
Looks like a sinkhole. Maybe there used to be water down there at some point. Well, I'm glad I decided to listen to my instincts last night and go to Town Corner State Forest Campground to camp, because I kind of had a feeling this was going to be swampy and marshy. This creek here was my intended campsite from where I had picked on the map before I left, just because of the proximity to the water source. But you can never tell what's on the map, what it's going to look like. But I had a feeling, so I'm just really glad I stayed there last night. It sucked that it was a 1.2 miles each way out of the way. Water looks good, there's just nowhere to camp.